Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, January 17th, 2021. For those of you coming back, thank you so much. Thank you for your emails, for your shares, for your likes, for your comments. I appreciate you guys so much for all of your loyalty, support, inspiration. You matter to me, and I'm just grateful, very grateful. And for those of you joining for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope that you stay, that you like the podcast today, and also like, comment, share. Find me also at my website, lisahop.com, and on Facebook under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop, and join me there. Like, subscribe, share on the Facebook page. Follow what's happening on the website. It has virtual upcoming events. It has all about my services, resources. So, welcome. Come on board. I'm getting a late start today because I did a guilty pleasure last night. I kept hearing about this Netflix series, and I love period pieces. It's from Shonda Rhimes, I believe, Bridgerton. So last night I felt like just kind of relaxing and doing, usually late at night, I spend that time reading, learning, expanding myself. But last night I just felt like doing something that was relaxing and as I said, maybe like a guilty pleasure. So I kept hearing about this series. So I thought, well, let me check it out. So I checked it out and I ended up marathoning it, which meant a very late overnight. So I'm getting a bit of a late start with this recording today. But if you like period pieces, it's not, I get slightly based on history, I suppose, but really, it's really just kind of like a Downton Abbey kind of series with a little bit more raunchiness to it even. So, well, check it out. And no, this is not a paid endorsement, but I did like it very much. It's very romantic, so I like that. Speaks to the Harlequin, the young girl that loved Harlequin romances. Speaks to that part of me that's still there. Well, moving on. Your topic today, where I'm coming to you today. It was very hard, by the way, to think of something to say today or something to talk about. This is a week that will be a shifting kind of week in our world. But I didn't really want to talk about that this week. And I also am always very drawn to talking to you about your power to create your ideal life. And I also have a new channel coming up on YouTube that's about angels. So I thought, talk to them about angels. But then when I went to sit down, the topic came to me. The one that, it's almost like it was given to me divinely as I sat down. And so the topic today is what you were never told. Most of us, what we were never told. There's truths. And there's spiritual truths. And there's also historical truths. But today I'd like to talk about spiritual truths because that's what this podcast is all about. And I'm very grateful that I've come to know about spiritual truths in my life, and I can learn all about them in order to pass them on to you. And the first spiritual truth that we were never told is the strength, the power, the ability, the gift of our free will. If you're like me, you were perhaps raised in a very traditional religion that told you were given a free will, but also with it told you that with that free will, you would be judged, and it would be decided where you go after your body no longer wants to be alive and your soul transitions. And the judgment was given quite a scary connotation. Would you be able to go to heaven? Would you be able, or would you, if you didn't do right, if you didn't behave yourself, would you go to a place called hell? And you're basically told that you were, for the most part, powerless, but you had the power to behave. And life, this is the one life that you were given. And for most of us, we were raised with, you were given what you were given and do the best with it. Once again, make sure to behave yourself. And some were given a better lot in life, and hopefully they also will do well with it. And there's a lot of, in all of these teachings, a lot of powerlessness, a lot of based on luck, a lot of, a lot of teachings that take away your innate power as a person, as a soul, as a spirit. Well, what you were never told is that, yes, you are given a free will. And that free will is incredibly powerful. And that free will has the capacity to create the life that you desire. It has the power of intention, of a belief system, of a very intimate decision-making ability to give you whatever you ask for, to set you up. And that will is free. There isn't an old man sitting on a throne that's watching you and saying, you better obey me, you better make me happy, or I'll be angry with you, and I'll destroy your life. Or I'll send you off to a place of eternal damnation because you didn't please me. It just doesn't work like that. And in your inner core, inherently, you know that that's true, that it doesn't work like that. But you're taught by very powerful people who get your ear early that it's not true, that you have a very powerful will, that you're a very powerful being created in the likeness of image of your Creator. You're taught about the old man on the throne by these powerful people, and that you should be afraid, and that you better listen to them, and that you better donate and live in fear. And it isn't right, and it's not true. So I'd like to explain first about the power of your will. And I also would like to explain again about the power of the wills around you, because everyone has one. And the thing is, you have complete control over your will and what you do with it, but so does everyone else. And so, you cannot change the will of another. You can't change their will and make them do what you want them to do. And that includes making them love you enough to be the way you want them to be. You cannot make them, if they're your child, achieve what you want them to achieve. You cannot manipulate, coerce another person. In the way you want to, because they have a will. You can make them unhappy and give them a sense of fear, but their will always win out because it has a voice, it has a will. It has an intention, and that will always override everything, whether it be their mind, whether it be how long they live, what it really, really wants. The will always win out. Unfortunately, sometimes it wins out the latter part of their lives, and they realize that how much time was wasted not listening to their will, not honoring it, but inevitably the will wins. It does. This week, I had a lot of clients that came in, and they wanted to know if the will of the person they're with would change. Most of the time, the answer was no. Because the will is pretty set. The only time a will changes, by the way, the only time your will changes is when you want it to, not when somebody else wants you to change. You have to be ready for that change. You have to want that change for yourself. You have to implement what is necessary to change that will, and nobody else has to say. And I'm in the position where I have to tell someone, it's an interesting position, because I'm telling them that if they honor that person's will and not put all of their eggs in the basket of that person for their happiness and their joy and their contentment, that they'll win out, that they'll actually get greater. We tend, though, to get stuck on a face. We tend to get stuck on, but I want it to be that person. I believe it's that person. Well, if that person's will doesn't line up with what you want, you have years upon years of unhappiness, of being restless, of not having enough, of feeling holes. But if you're willing to honor that person's will, and to honor your will, and to ask for what you really want to receive, and to be open to it, then you come out happier, greater, and you get someone who is aligned with you, who does want to be what you want them to be. So I always say this every week, the Love Song Station has all breakup songs, has all broken hearts and sadness most of the time, probably 99% of the time, because we're always looking for somebody else. We're always looking to dishonor a will. We're always hoping and waiting and praying that a hope will change. But that a will will change. But a will won't change unless that person wants it to change. And it has nothing to do with how much you're loved. A person can love you to the moon and back. But if their will is to be a certain way, it's going to be a certain way. And there's nothing that can happen on your part that can change it. But what you can do is concentrate on your own will. And if your will says, I'm going to be wealthy, your will has it. If your will says, I'm going to have immense love, your will give it to you. Your will achieve it. So what does your will say to you today? And also, your will, as I told you, is free. Free will. It is best, because we're all made of energy, and we put out energy, and energy comes back to us, to live from a state of good free will. That doesn't mean that we sacrifice our happiness, by the way. Doesn't mean that we settle. But what you give out, you get back. So it is best to want to be generous, to want to be grateful, to practice that in your life. And if you do that, it comes roaring back to you. It may not come back from the people that you're generous to, but it will come back from someone. Because it's natural law. It's set up. That's what I most love about the highest source, God, heaven. If you do want to see that energy as an old man on a throne, I can tell you, this amazing energy set up an autopilot, where what you put out, you get back. They don't have to watch you. They know that you're going to handle it yourself. Now, that wonderful energy did create angels. And actually would say to us, we created angels and spirit guides and ascended masters in order to assist us. We did it. But God allowed it. Source allowed it. So you do have divine helpers. You have your divine departed loved ones as well, who are in a better place and have lived on. So this wonderful highest source has pretty much allowed your free will to rule your life, given you helpers, pretty much sits back on that throne with their feet up. The love that is given to you from that throne is unconditional, accepting, adoring. You can't screw that up. Even if you're evil, you're still loved. Doesn't mean that evil doesn't pay consequences and doesn't go to an afterlife that matches the evil. It just means that when you're denied universal love, when you're denied divine love, godly love, you've denied it for yourself. It's not denied you. That love is unrelenting. It's unconditional. It's yours. You block it at times. It is not blocked from you. And for those of you in traditional religion, you were told something different, as I was. Now, the thing is, they mix it up, so it's so confusing. They'll tell you on any given Sunday, and I'm not, by the way, saying that you should not attend church. It's community. And that you should not believe in commandments. No, there's actually more than 10 given. They were given in order for you to live your best possible life. What I'm saying is remember how you were taught fear. And they would mix it in about how much you're loved. You're loved, but fear. Fear, but you're loved. It borders on abusive, doesn't it? A bit. Perhaps. You're loved unconditionally. I get quite sad when I see those in powerful positions that teach hate, and they do it from a pulpit, from an altar. It's been quite sad lately to see that, because it's false. It's just false. They are not coming from a place of pure teaching, of truth. They are working for other energy. Negative energy, hateful energy, anti-energy. If you are a good person inside, there is nothing to fear. Just live your best life. Give out what you want to get back. Love your fellow man. Serve them. Enjoy it, serving. Wake up in a state each morning with immense gratitude. Be in the present moment of your life, not dwelling on the past that had pain, or the future that brings anxiety or worry, but in the present moment. That is where you can tap into that source that unconditionally loves you. That's where all answers are. And then use your free will to ask for what you wish to receive. If it is freedom, ask for freedom. It's yours to have. If it's love, ask for it. It's yours to have. If it's health, you get it right then. It's yours to have. Be in that present moment, and with your free will, ask for it. And start each day with an intention to build on your free will, to make it even better and better and better. Because you have that right. You are given a free will to create, to expand, to explore. Not to be a puppet, not to be under a thumb, not to just accept a certain salary or a certain way of life. It was my lot in life, I must accept it. No. You know what the most amazing, overwhelming thing that awaits all of your loved ones, that awaited all of my loved ones when they transitioned to heaven? They found out that they never had a reason to worry, that they never had a reason to fear, that they could have had all that they would have asked for, that life is about love, that it was always going to be all right. They found that out. That's one of the reasons they're so incredibly happy where they are. And why they love serving us. Because they want to help us not to experience that here. All those things they did. But you know what? We have free will. So how many of you wake up every morning and do the same thing every day that you did the day before? You wake up. You start your day at the same time. You have your rituals of whether it's your morning coffee or you're walking your animal, your dog, You get a morning shower or take a run, go to work at the same time, see the same people. I'm not saying by the way, there's something that you shouldn't do that. I'm saying you should do that if that makes you happy, if that's what your free will wants. But how many of you do it because you think that that's just your life? It's not. It doesn't have to be. Wake up each morning grateful that you woke up. If you have a roof over your head, for the roof over your head. For anything that you can come up with that you can be grateful for. And then spend just a few moments feeling and seeing and thinking yourself in that ideal life. What do you want? Because all you have to do is ask with your free will. All you have to do is dedicate just about a minute each to your areas of wealth, love, health. Feel and see yourself in an ideal way, and then go about your day with a smile on your face. Being a person of generosity, fully focused on your day and being productive. Watching out for that help from your angels and your spirit guides, as they synchronistically, coincidentally guide you on the path of what you've asked for with that first morning moment. And then vow to yourself to take action and to honor your will. And don't let another, with their negativity, stop you, block you, or divert you. Don't live in fear. If you live in fear about protection, put angels around you, white light. But if you live in fear about where you go after this life, ask for them to assure you. Ask for that answer. And just know, though, there's nothing to fear. Unless you know that you're not a good person. Then you might want to think again. But even so, there's always second chances. So that is what you were never told, that your free will is actually incredibly free. It's free. There's no conditions. It's yours, free of charge, to do with what you want. And another thing that you were never told, and it's somewhat connected, is how incredibly powerful you are. Do you know that you can light up a city if you want to? You literally bring to you every day what you put out. What makes you think you can't put out a big wad of energy out? You could time travel if you set your mind to it. You can travel to other dimensions if you meditate every day. You can reverse time. You can speed up time. You can stall time. You are an incredibly powerful being. You are put into this physical body in order to be challenged so that you grow and expand. Yes, and this physical body has its challenges of senses, of needing to eat, of feeling things, of that thickness of this world. But you have inherently in you a spirit and a soul that is incredibly powerful and can connect into that power at any time. Put out peace, you get peace. Put out hate, you get hate. Put out poverty, you get poverty. It is not your fault on a human level. It's just important to know that you do have control. You do have power. You have the power of your feelings and your thoughts. And your words. Also something you were never told. Back to your angels. We're taught that angels are messengers. Maybe they come to special people. Newsflash, you're special. You're equal. You have at least 1 to 2 guardian angels with you at all times, whose job is to watch out for you and to guide you. And they love you unconditionally. You cannot upset them. They cannot be taken from you. They are there. And sometimes they're very, very quiet. I would imagine most of the time they're incredibly quiet. But when you need them the most, they will send you synchronistic signs such as numbers. They will come to you when you need to be rescued. They will save you from chance. They will put their wings around you and comfort you when you feel lonely and desolate. They love loving you. They love their job. They were created just to do it. We sometimes see movies, don't we, about angels having human feelings and fallen angels and angels can only experience unconditional love and joy. They know no other emotion. You can't turn them. Just dig deeper sometimes. There is a yin and yang in this world. There is good and evil. There is temptation for your highest self, for your highest evolvement. We are tested at times for our own growth. Angels are angels. And you can call them fallen, darker angels, but angels are angels. And so what I'm saying is that sometimes things are labeled a certain way that aren't a certain way. You can trust your angels. You can feel secure with your angels. And you also have spirit guides, the saints, normal, everyday people that now want to be teachers to you and helpers. And you have them for career and romance and health and joy. And you have 1 to 2 at least of them too. You could have more of any being that you need. You can ask for more angels. You can ask for more spirit guides. And you get them. Ask and you shall receive. And there are archangels such as Michael and Raphael, the healer, and Gabriel, who loves to help with fertility and creativity. Angels help, and there are different levels of them. Not one better than the other, just different roles. And they are there to help you, to teach you, to guide you, to protect you. And you are worthy to receive their help. And then there are ascended masters that are Jesus and Moses. Highest beings that help mankind too. You are worthy to receive help from them. You must be humble. You can't just demand them and say, serve me. Most of you wouldn't do that though. Most of you feel that you're not worthy to receive their help. But you are. You are. These are beings. These are energy beings that we have called upon to be there for us, and they are. We asked for them throughout time to help us because we knew that we would be challenged by our physical life, by what we perceive with our delusional naked eyes and our senses, not our gut. Our gut's connected to heaven. By what we would hear, by our subconscious programming that's given to us, our beliefs that are given to us, we would be challenged. So they are the whispers around us. They are that gut feeling that tells us what is truth. Gut. Gut. In the very middle of your body. Not in your mind. Not in your heart, but in your gut. That gut that knows what it knows. When you say, I know what I know, not what I want to believe. Some people say, I know what I know, and they're not talking about their gut area. You have a core that's connected to heaven that will tell you what is truth, that will work with you, that is always there. We all walk around with an entourage of angels and spirit guides, of departed loved ones that help us. At least one of them's always with you too. And then you get ascended masters and other higher beings. Some of us get beings from other dimensions that want to assist us. They're coming around more and more because of the times that we're in. But it's all about assistance. And you have such tremendous power, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you have something around you that you're afraid of, call in your team. Tell them to go away. You have that power. Invoke prayer. Invoke love. Those powerful feelings. And you'll be okay. And I'm speaking about those of you of a healthy mindset. If you feel that it's not healthy at all what you're experiencing, get in all the resources that you have to get in. It's okay to talk to someone. I'm talking about those of us who every day are living our lives and want to use all of our resources to create the best life possible. Everybody has the same resources available to them. Everybody. You have the same help available to you that someone who is the wealthiest, the happiest, the healthiest on this earth. All you have to do is ask. What you are never told is in any moment your life can change. Be in the present moment, and your life can be different, better, easier, warmer, more loving, more abundant. So to recap, what you were never told is that your free will is actually free. You can never love enough another person to change their will. As you are in charge of your will, they are in charge of theirs. So you must accept that and love them for who they are. And know that you can have who is aligned with your free will, who is the greatest for you, who is the best for you. You are never told about angels. It is all right to use them, to ask for their help, to talk to them. As well as your spirit guides. You were never told that you create your life every single day. Your future today, at this very moment that you're listening to me, is being created. Make sure to think and ask. Talk like, feel like, think like the life that you truly want. You are not born with a prefabricated life and you're stuck living it with no power. You're creating at this very moment, tomorrow. You're even creating today. When you wake up in a state of gratitude, you're creating the best day. When you wake up not wanting to go to the job, not wanting to start your day, you're starting out with a lesser day. You have the power to create your life in all its wonder, in all its beauty. You were never told that money is just a symbol, and that money that you see in your life is just equal to your feelings and thoughts and beliefs about wealth, and that there's more than enough to go around, that resources are unlimited, that answers will always come. to bring abundance to you and to the earth. I bet you some of you were never told that you actually chose your families. So that they would be your greatest teachers and sometimes your greatest challenges when you came into this life. No matter what has happened, it doesn't mean that you deserved things that happened. It just means that you came here a victor. And sometimes victors say, give me the greatest things to deal with so that I can become even more of one. And at the end of your life, you look back and go, wow, did I overcome some stuff? And you should be very proud of yourself for getting that done, because that's what you wanted when you came and you did it. We're all victors, actually. Eventually. I've always have said that those who go through the most, the greatest adversities, the greatest traumas, are meant to be the greatest among us. Because what you had to overcome, wow, you can only be the greatest and achieve the greatest and be rewarded the most. Also, what you are never told is you're not powerless. Things happen around you, but you have the ability to decide how you're going to cope with it. The government doesn't have any more power over you than anything else. You have power over you and what you believe and how happy you are and how much wealth you make. You're not a puppet. I bring that up because of the week. So think about all of that, what you were never told. And I encourage you to be a discerning student and to find out what you were never told and what the truth is. It's very important to know the truth. And make sure you know the truth. We are in an information society now, and there's a lot of mistruths bandied about. But I can tell you that I will never speak a mistruth to you intentionally. I find out before I speak because, well, number one, I'm not that type of person to mislead you, but also consequences. Those who lie to you will have consequences. Those who incite have consequences. There are just consequences. And I want my consequences to be the best they possibly can be. I want to come from a place of trust. So make sure that you are doing that as well, going to the places of trust. Okay? It's very important. I talked a long time today, and I hope I was clear after my long marathon night. Might have been all over the place there at the beginning. Thank you for listening. You're very important. You matter. You deserve. You're worthy. Keep that in mind each and every moment of your life. Release what doesn't feel good whether that be experiences and people, and try to live in a way that things that do feel good are attracted to you. Because you matter, and you deserve that. Thank you so much again. Again, please be sure to go to my website at lisahub.com. Also, very, very, very soon, there is a channel starting on YouTube. It's already been created. It just needs content. It's called The Guided Journey. I do plan on doing the content shortly. I just need a couple more things to get me ready. It's just about there. And so I probably, let's just say that if you listen every week, it should be good to go next week. I never say that 100% because you never know what a day can bring with all my creating, but it is a channel to help you connect more to the angels and the spirit guides and ascendant masters, and for them to connect more with you. And it's devoted solely to that. And perhaps your departed loved ones as well. So, you can go on right now and subscribe to it. Ask for notifications. So when the content does arrive, you're the first to know. The Guided Journey. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, blessed, incredible day.